Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome. We are so happy to have everyone here on this beautiful Shabbat morning, and want to take a moment to invite you to take your cell phones and turn them to the off position or the silent position if you're a doctor or you have a babysitter at home. So that way we get to hear the beautiful music that we're going to enjoy together. And sometimes you've got that bing, bing, the little bells that go off. It's like, oh, another angel got her wings. Anyway, but also we have our wonderful photographer and videographers in the back there who are capturing the wonderful moments for us. So that way we can be present together. And yeah, Bella, I'm going to keep my eye on you. I'll call you out. And also we do want to welcome everybody who is streaming in with us today. Shabbat Shalom. We welcome you from wherever you are. We are grateful that you are able to join us in our Shabbat morning services and be a part of our community. So wherever it is that you are, sing along with us, be a part of it, and thank you. So with that, we are going to warm up our voices and allow ourselves to kind of enter into this wonderful moment. We're going to let Bryce kind of breathe a little. Who, me? Yeah, this is going to be fun. I can already tell. This is going to be good. So, all right, Bryce, you ready to warm this up? Okay, I'm going to come over and listen for you. So, Cantor, go for it.
We join in this melody, which is called a nigun. This is a melody that has no specific words, so we can focus on how the music makes us feel as we sing on the syllable yalalai, as we warm up our mind, body, spirit, and voice. So please join in as we sing with a smile. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la yalla la, yalla la la la, yalla la yalla la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la yalla la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la ya la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la.
Shabbat morning services today is participatory. This is not a performance. So Bryce is not going to be performing for us during our worship. We're all going to be joining together in that worship experience. How many of you, this is your first time at a synagogue for Shabbat morning services? Awesome, wonderful, welcome. We are very happy that you are here. So I'm going to take a moment to introduce ourselves to our service, and those of you who have attended other services, kind of what our minhag here and our prayer books and so forth. Those of you in the front row, your prayer books are directly under your seat, and the rest of you, your prayer books are right in front of you. So go ahead and take out one of those prayer books, and so kind of get ourselves acquainted with it. This is Mishkan Tefillah, which is the Reform Movement's prayer book for Shabbat. And so those of you this is your first time, What do you notice about this book that's different than other books? It's backwards. Exactly. Yeah, it opens up the opposite way than you normally would see, right? Because English, we read English from left to right, but Hebrew, we read from right to left. So that's why the book opens the opposite way, because we pray in Hebrew. However, you will hear a lot of English today as well, I promise. As well as when we're doing the Hebrew, the English translation is always right below the Hebrew. So if you open anywhere in the prayer book and you notice the Hebrew there, so you know the translation of what's being said is right below it. On the opposite page are some alternative type of readings that go with the same theme. Now, you notice also in your prayer books that there are two columns of Hebrew. You have the Hebrew on the right-hand side, and then the column that's on the left is the transliteration. That's taking English letters and then helping us sound out what the Hebrew sounds like, because we know not everybody knows how to read Hebrew. And so we want to make sure the prayers are accessible to everybody. So feel free to be able to sound out the words using the transliteration. But Bryce's prayer book is different in that he does not have the transliteration. He has the translations, but he doesn't have the transliteration of the Hebrew. And that's because Bryce has been studying Hebrew for a number of years, so he doesn't need it. So there you go, right? Yeah, he's going to go with it. That's smart. Now, his prayer book is slightly different than ours. Number one, it's a different color. It's a light blue to tell us that, okay, it's a different version. It has the same words inside, but this version is the full prayer book that has services for Shabbat, weekdays, and festivals like Sukkot and Simchat Torah and Pesach, Passover. So he has the full version of the prayer book here, which means that, first of all, it's heavier. So this has been his weightlifting part of his learning. As well as because there are all the services in here, there are more pages to it. So in order for us to make sure that we're on the same page with Bryce, if you notice in your prayer books with the page numbers, you'll see page numbers in black and blue. And so we are going to be calling out page numbers that are in the blue. That way it corresponds to Bryce's prayer book, and we're all able to be, as I like to say, on the same page. There you go, my friend. All right. So we have the words of our prayer book that we're going to use together. You'll notice that there are going to be times that we're going to stand. We'll invite the congregation to stand. It's a way of showing respect before God. There are ways that we pray with our body as well. You'll notice how, we'll sometimes bow in humble reverence before God. So there's this choreography that happens. It's beautiful. Our bodies have this wonderful natural rhythm to it. It's almost impossible to stand completely rigid, and we shouldn't. We should allow that flow of energy to move through us as we pray, as we sing, as we participate. Please, throughout the service, participate. Feel free to read along when Bryce invites us to do so in English. Sing. If you don't know the words, Lai works very, very well. We also pray with what we wear. So we have the kippah, the yarmulke, the head covering that reminds us of God's presence all around us, as well as then the prayer shawl, the talit. We are commanded to wear fringes on the corners of our garment. These fringes, they are tied a certain way with 5 major knots. There are 8 strings, and when we look upon them, we're reminded of the 613 commandments. At this time, Bryce is going to come forward and recite for us all 613 commandments in order. We'll do it later. Good call it, that one. There you go. Very nice. So, but what we're actually told is, to be honest with you, we don't sit here and try to memorize all 613 commandments. That's not how Jewish learning happens. Jewish learning is about being able to study, being able to take the text before us and to say, what's the meaning of it in our lives? And so when we look at these seats, when we look at the fringes on the corners of our garments, we're reminded of that responsibility. And especially as Bryce now is becoming a young man in Jewish tradition, he takes on that Jewish responsibility of continuing to learn. Today is not graduation. This is not the end. this is only the beginning. It's the next level of learning and even wrestling with what it means to do Jewish, what we talked about last night. So those of you who are here, it's not enough to say, I am a Jew. It is also important for us to say, how do we do Jewish? And so that's what the reminder of these tzitzit are all about. Well, when a young woman becomes a bat mitzvah, she receives her first talit, because a bat mitzvah literally means daughter of the commandments. And when a young man becomes a bar mitzvah, he is becoming a bar mitzvah. He's not having one. His mother had one 13 years ago. But he is becoming a bar mitzvah. He is becoming a young man of the commandments in our community. And so he receives his first talit. So Bryce, I'm going to invite you to come on forward. You can leave your prayer book there. And join me up here along with your grandparents, Larry and Ann Solinger, who will present you with your first talit.
Well, Bryce, you finally made it. You've been working really hard, and we really are happy to be here on this day. We've had a lot of fun experiences together over the years. We've traveled all over, and you've been a wonderful grandson. All I can say is I'll give you one little bit of advice. If you have any practical questions, ask your grandmother. If you have any real questions, ask your grandfather. That. Present you with the tallis, which represents your becoming a young man.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu v'hitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, eternal soul of the universe, who makes us holy through the mitzvot and commands us in wearing the fringes on the corners of our garments. Mazel tov. There you go. Mazel tov. We give thanks for so many of our blessings as we turn now to page 186, Modeh Moda Ani.
Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shehechezata nishmati behemla, behemla, Rabba emunatecha, Rabba emunatecha, Moda ani lefanecha, Melech chai v'kayam, shehechezata nishmati behemla, behemla, Rabba emunatecha, Rabba emunatecha.
As we turn now to page 224, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadal shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechono v'yomechono v'chayedecho beit Yisrael b'hagala u'vizman kariv v'meru.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lam le'omayah yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalah shemei dekudsha.
Brechu
בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן מעלמה וימרו.
Amen. As we turn to page 226, we rise now for Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, osei shalom uvarei et hakol, hama'ir la'aretz v'adarim aleha, brachamim utuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid masei v'reishit. Marabu ma'asecha Adonai kulang bochma asita ma'ala haaretz kinyanecha. Tiparach Adonai Eloheinu al shivach masei yadecha. Val Moray or Shiasita Yafa Rucha Salah.
Or Chadash Ad Sion Tahir. 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 Bendiske kulanu bimhera leoro. Bendiske kulanu bimhera leoro. Or Chadash ad Sion Tahir. Or Chadash ad Sion Tahir.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Hamarot. Please show me on page 231. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. In light blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries. Your light be moving before us as we climbed, fell back and climbed again. Your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ava.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We continue chanting together the Ve'ahavta on page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'chol nafshecha u'chol meodecha v'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi matzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levenecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha bebetecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitiem kedoshim leolehem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lechem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. We continue on page 240, singing Micha Mocha.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha neheda b'kodesh nora tehilot osef elef Nora tehilot osef elef Shira chadasha shibehu gehulim V'shimcha asifat hayam yachad kulam Hodu v'himlichu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Sur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael Ufedehi ne'umecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzivahot shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael
Amen. Page 242.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia ki tehilatecha Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. בי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, כך כתוב היד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We join together at the bottom of page 250 as we sing Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם השביעי, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתונם.
We continue on page 252. Eloheinu, Velohei, Avotenu, Ve'imotenu, Reitzei, Vimnuchatenu, Kadshenu, B'mitzvotecha, V'tein, Chalkenu, V'toratecha, Savenu, V'tuvecha, V'samchenu, V'shuatecha, V'taher, Libenu, Lovdecha, B'emet, V'hanchilenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Ba'ava, Uratzon, Shabbat, Kodshecha, V'yanuchu, Va, Yisrael, V'kadshe Shemecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
We continue on page 254. Reitzei Adonai Eloheinu, Ba'amcha Yisrael, Utiflitam, Ba'ava, Tekabel, Utiti Ratzon, Tamid, Avodat, Yisrael, Amecha, El Karav, Lechol Karav, Pinei El Avadecha, V'chonenu, Shefoch Ruchacha Aleinu, V'tekazena Einenu, B'shuvecha L'zion Brachamim, Baruch Atah Adonai, HaMachazir Shechinato L'zion.
Amen.
Please join me on page 257. For the expanding grandeur of creations, worlds unknown and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations.
Modim Anachnulah.
For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. Modim Anachnulah. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim Anachnulah. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim Anachnulah. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim Anachnulah. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom. Modim Anachnulah. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim Anachnulah. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch Atah Adonai.
Hatov Shimcha Ucha Na'el Lehodot. As we continue now on page 258 with Sim Shalom, we invite you, please join along in singing with us. Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha,
Ein v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim
Aleinu, Ve'ako Yisrael, Ve'ako Yisrael, V'amecha.
V'archeinu yosreinu kulanu ke'echad v'hor panecha ki v'hor panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu. Sim shalom, sim shalom,
Tova Uvracha,
Ein v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim
Aleinu, Ve'ako Yisrael, Ve'ako Yisrael,
Amecha. Torah chaim v'ahavat chesed v'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka u'bracha v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom. Sim shalom, sim shalom, tova u'racha, ein v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'ako Yisrael Becholet Ulechol Sha'ah Bishlomecha Sim Shalom, Sim Shalom Tova Uracha Ein B'Chesed Verachamim Aleinu Ve'ako Yisrael Ve'ako Yisrael Hamecham Baruch Atah Adonai Hamevarech et Amo Yisrael Mashalom.
Amen.
We continue in silent meditation.
Yiyu liratzon imrefi vehegion libi lefanecha. Yiyu liratzon imrefi vehegion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego alim. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego alim. Yiyu liratzon imrefi vehegion libi lefanecha. Yiyu liratzon imrefi vehegion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego alim. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vego alim.
We've reached this part of our service now, which is our Seder Kriyat HaTorah, which is the service for the order of reading Torah. And Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And it's a Seder, it's an order, because we read it in order. We start from the very beginning, and throughout the entire year, we read a portion until we're at the end of Torah. And then we start it all over again. We never actually finish reading Torah. In fact, on the holiday that's going to be coming up in a few weeks, in October, called Simchat Torah, we conclude the passage in Deuteronomy, but we immediately go all the way back to Genesis, to the story of creation, and start all over, to remind ourselves of this beautiful cycle of reading Torah. And to remind ourselves especially that we are never done learning Torah. As I said earlier, this is a milestone in Bryce's life. He's worked very, very hard to be here today and has accepted this honor and this privilege of leading us in worship. And he's taken on the responsibility as well of studying Torah and taking something that is over 2,000 years old and asking a very important question: what does it have to do with our lives today? That's a huge responsibility for a 13-year-old. And what's awesome, though, is to be able to see Torah through his lens, through the lens of all of our students. I have to tell you, I never tire of the discussions that I have with our 13-year-olds because they bring amazing light and amazing insight to what this ancient document can teach us today. Torah is an Eitz Chaim. It's a tree of life. It is constantly growing. It is constantly evolving in our lives. The words don't change at all. The sentences don't change. Nothing changes in Torah. In fact, you have to write it down the exact same way that's been written down for over 2,000 years. And in a little while, I'm going to invite you to come forward, those who want to come and see Torah up close, if you haven't before, or even if you have and you want to come see it. Because it's amazing how it's written there on the parchment the exact same way, but then the question is, what's the meaning of it? What do these words, especially from this Torah portion, kitavo, which, as I said to Bryce, welcome to the Kitavo Club. There are those of us who, Kitavo was our parasha of becoming bar mitzvah, becoming bat mitzvah. I did it a few years before you. It's been a while. But it's awesome to see how we interpret things in so many different ways based on where we are in our lives, what's happening in our world, and really who we are as individuals. Bryce, the really cool thing that I want you to understand is this gift of Torah that you are going to receive in a few minutes, that's going to be passed on from your grandparents to your parents and to you, is to remember that this whole idea of Lador Vador, this chain of tradition from one generation to the next, is a reminder to us that there are so many different stories that are within the Torah, not just what's written there, but the stories that have been passed on to you. You have now this responsibility to take them and make them your own as well, but then pass them on to your children someday, long time from now. No rush. We're good with that. Yeah. So, but this whole idea, Torah continues to live because of you, because of all of our youth. If we didn't teach it to you, and if you didn't wrestle with it and be challenged by it, and then teach it to us, Torah doesn't continue. It would stop. So you have a greater responsibility today, not just to lead us in worship, not just to read the maftir, the Torah portion, not just to deliver an amazing Devar Torah, but your responsibility beyond this, Bryce, is to continue to study it and to pass it on. Because if you don't, if our youth don't, then it stops. And if you think about it, we've been doing this for quite a few thousand years. And I know that we're going to continue to do it because we have young adults like yourself. So let us begin this amazing journey, this gift of Torah, of this parasha of Kitavo, as we are going to turn in our prayer books right now to page 362. Join with us.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein k'ma'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'hador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai himloch, le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz lamo yitein, Adonai varech et amo v'shalom.
Throughout our Torah service, our bima is going to be filled with wonderful family who are going to be sharing in this journey of Torah. At this time, it is my honor to call forward for passing Torah, Lador Vador, from generation to generation, the grandparents, Larry and Ann Solinger, and Bob and Marcia Plaskin. You can leave your prayer books behind you. Come stand right here. And then, of course, the parents of our bar mitzvah, Rachel and Randy, and our bar mitzvah, Bryce, come on down here. And there you may stand. And also, I want to acknowledge who's going to be holding our Torah cover and binder, Sean Lorenz. So you're going to go ahead and just stay right there. Don't worry, I'll bring it to you. It's all good. And opening up our ark doors, Chloe Solinger and Dana Plaskin. Come on forward to open up our Ark Tours. As we continue on page 362, please rise. Chloe and Dana, come on up, and if you'll come open the Ark Doors, please.
Heitiv avitzoncha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, ki v'chol levad batachnu, Melech el-Ram v'nisa Adon olamim.
Page 364.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. Page 366.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, Uneromim Shemo Yachdav.
It is this beautiful Torah that has been given to us from generation to generation, and this Torah especially, that we pass to each of you. This scroll is over 275 years old. It comes from Czechoslovakia. This Torah scroll was found in a warehouse following the Shoah, following the Holocaust. It was taken out of a synagogue. We don't know exactly from where. We can only tell the region based on the handwriting. But we know the story, unfortunately, of the Nazis who sought to destroy the Jewish people. Unfortunately, that's been a story of the Jewish people for many generations. But we continue to survive. This Torah survived. This Torah, along with hundreds of others, have been given as gifts, as permanent loan to congregations like ours, so that we remember. We remember the struggles, we remember the challenges, but we also hold on to the hope that we as a people will always survive. Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel will live. And why? Because this Torah has been a part of your lives. You have held it in your arms. You have learned from it. You have challenged it. You have grown from it. You have been teachers. You have passed this wonderful gift onto your children. And now Rachel and Randy, the two of you take this Torah scroll and you pass it on to your son. Bryce, this is yours. Got it? Hold on to it. Because it belongs to you. It belongs to all of us. Bryce, always treasure this gift. Always recognize how important it is. May its weight continue to keep you rooted in your tradition, but may it also always lift you up and inspire you as we get to walk now in the light of Torah.
Lecha Adonai hagidula v'hagivura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol בשמיים ובארץ כי כל בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני הממלכה והביט נעשה לכל ראש על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד.
So please feel free to be seated, or if you want to come up to see the Torah, come on up. Don't be shy. Bryce, have you ever seen the Torah before? Oh, good. Come on up. Don't be shy. Come on up. Everybody's welcome. Yay. All right. Fantastic. Gather around. Come in nice and close. Don't worry, I don't bite often. Just nibbles. All right. Come on up. Yay. Gather around. Definitely. You can stand in front. You can stand to the side here. Come on up. Come closer. Come. Here you go. Awesome. Yay. Fantastic. All right. So, first of all, as you guys can see, hi, guys. All right, perfect. Why don't we let my TBS people, will you do me a favor? Go up onto the stairs, Okay, you guys, there you go. You're my choir. The rest of you, come on in this way, so that way they can see. Come on, there you go. We make sure they see it lots. Come closer. There you are. Perfect. Hi. So the Torah is a scroll, and the important thing with it is that because it's a scroll, we need to bind it together. Otherwise, it's a little unwieldy. So all of our B'nai Mitzvah students, during the fall of their 7th grade year, they go on a retreat with me and the cantor, and we have them make their own Torah binder. So this is Bryce's Torah binder. There you go. I think he likes baseball. It's a common theme, and he hasn't lost it. But it's wonderful because this binder is really it's a part of him. It's a part of his creation, which is awesome to have Torah like that, bound by bound by something that our youth make. So I'm going to have Sean. So you're going to go. I'm going to give this to you as well. There you are. I'll let you hold on to that as well. Thank you. So Torah, it is written on parchment. So would you mind holding that for me right there? Don't worry, there you go, perfect. And you want to hold this one right here? Awesome. Okay, so it's written on parchment. Parchment comes from a kosher animal. Now, here we go. This is where I get a call on to my B'nai Mitzvah students. All right, kosher animal has to have 2 different things. What do they have to have? Hannah?
Cleft hooves, and they have to chew their cud.
Very good. Cleft hooves and chew their cud. That means that their feet, the hooves, the hard material, it's split. All right, and then choose their cud is a type of digestive process, the way that they digest their food. We won't get into it because we're going to have lunch. So there you go. You want to know later? I'll tell you, but let's eat first. But the cleft hoof, so what kind of animals are kosher, guys? What do we got? Yes? Cow. Duh. What else? A goat. Very good. What is deceivingly, we would go, ew, maybe it's kosher, but it's not really. Camel, very good, awesome. Camel chews its cud, but it has toes, not hooves. And also the other thing, yes? You can't have pork, right, Reagan. So you can't have pig because pig will have cleft hooves, but they don't chew their cud. All right, so that's why pork is not kosher. So, all right, we've got this Torah that's made from the parchment, so from the skin of a kosher animal. And then, and I'm going to have you hold at the top right there. Perfect. Yeah, because it's at the very, very end there, it kind of moves a little bit. And it is handwritten by a scribe who sits down at a piece of parchment with another Torah scroll next to him or her, or a book called a tikkun, and has to copy it letter for letter, word for word. The commandment in Torah says you cannot change one word, one letter of Torah. So they have to copy it exactly the same way. And the ink that they use, they're going to use it with a feather, and then the ink is special ink that is made from natural ingredients like different berries and tree saps and things like that. It's boiled and cooled and boiled and cooled. And then the final ingredient, which gives the letters their shine, is honey. There you go, Zachary. Awesome. So is honey. So that Torah should be there you go. Sweet as honey on our tongues. But we don't lick the Torah. No, not a good. Yeah. I know, really. Yeah, so, now, the Torah, we don't want to touch it with our fingers. It's not that we're not supposed to. It's not that anything bad will happen if we do, except what will happen is the oil that's in our hands will then eventually break down the ink. And so we want a Torah scroll to last a very long time. The Torah that I passed on, 275 years old. We can still read from it, although there's a lot of repair that needs to happen from that Torah scroll, to that Torah scroll. But we can still read it because we take good care of it. So we use this thing right here. What does that look like there? A finger, exactly. It's a hand. So this is called a yad, which means hand. How convenient. And so we use this to follow along and keep our place when we're reading because, there's a lot of columns. There's a lot of rows here. And so that way we can follow along in the reading and not be constantly rubbing our fingers over it and breaking down that ink. Now, as I mentioned too, we can't change anything in Torah. What you have here are only the consonants, the letters. There are no vowels in here. The vowels, if you remember from the prayer book, on the Hebrew there, the little dots and dashes that are next to the letter, below the letter, above the letters and so forth, those dots and dashes that are there, those are the vowels. The A's, E's, I's, O's, Oo's, okay, Ah's. But that wasn't created. Those dots and dashes were not created until after the diaspora, when the Jews moved all over the world, started speaking different languages, and then we started to lose our Hebrew. So if I was to give you all something to read in English without any vowels, you'd be able to read it because you know the language. That used to be the case also with most Jews, that they could read the language, or read the Torah without vowels, and they knew how to read it. So the rabbi said, well, we have to be able to pronounce it correctly, because if I change the vowels, I can change the meaning of a word. So they made sure to create the vowel system, but again, what's that big rule? We can't change anything. Can't add a thing. So we can't add any of the vowels or any of the punctuation. There's no punctuation in here either. So when Bryce goes to read Torah, or anybody reads Torah, they're reading without vowels, without punctuation. But we always have somebody standing next to them, called the Gabbai, who has the pointed text, to make sure if we make a mistake, to gently correct us, so that way we read it correctly. We don't want to change the meaning. So finally, our Torah scrolls. So those of you who were here for Ethan, when Ethan became bar mitzvah, we weren't here. We were over at Chapman University. And the reason why we weren't here is because we had a fire here a little over 3 years ago. And we've since rebuilt. And but our Torah scrolls were damaged in the fire because of the flames. Thank God didn't reach here. They were contained to the kitchen. But the Torah scrolls were damaged because the intense heat of the fire, and it also sucked out all the moisture from the air, which meant that when our scribe came to check the Torah scroll, he went up to it, and the letters, by the way, because parchment, the ink doesn't sink into the parchment. You know, like when we have paper and pen, it kind of sinks into it. It doesn't. It sits on top of it. And so what happened was the scribe was able to literally just flick the letters right off the parchment. So he had to repair our Torah scroll, and so this is one of our repaired scrolls. We still have a couple that we need to repair, including the Czech scroll that we pass on. That one's actually going to be a really cool project that we're going to be doing, hopefully, in the not too near future. So, or not too far future, something like that. Okay. So that's our Torah. Now, if you look really close, you ready? You're going to help me out here. So if you see can you see the lines? This one's a little bit more tricky. Do you see how there's lines etched into the parchment? Yeah? Okay, that's how we keep everything straight. Think about when you write on lined paper, you keep everything straight by writing on the line, right? Can you tell me, when you look at this, at the letters here, are the letters sitting on the line, or are they hanging from it? Yeah, they're hanging from it. The tops of the letters are hanging from that line. What's really cool is that our rabbis teach us a story. That line represents the division between earth and heaven. And that idea that we as people, we're kind of like on that line there and always reaching up higher toward God, toward heaven, to be better people. And so that we always reach up higher. It's a wonderful reminder of it. And the way that we do that is through Torah, studying and learning and wrestling with it and experiencing it. So there you go. Any questions? Did I miss anything, guys? Did I get it all? Okay, cool. They know my shtick. It's good. Any questions from you all? Oh, I know what it was. What happens if a scribe makes a mistake? Yes.
You could try to scratch it off.
So if a scribe makes a mistake, he can try to scrape off the letter.
He has to redo it completely.
Exactly. If he can't scrape it off, got to start all over. Not the entire scroll, just that sheet of parchment. So yeah, wouldn't it be a bummer if you're all the way at the end here and it's like you can't fix it? Like, oh. That's one tired hand, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all very, very much. Thank you, guys. I will take back the scroll here. You may return to your seats. So Zachary became bar mitzvah last week, so mazel tov to him. Jules, right here in the blue, you're on deck next week, sir. We are excited. So it's awesome to watch our classes continue. But right now, we get to share in the wonderful blessings of our Solinger family and Torah.
For our first aliyah, chanting the blessing, Lori Polin, Leah Bat Natan Mordechai Ve'el Yameir, Ken Polin, Kalman, Debbie Gerber, Devora Bat Ernie Ve'Esther, and Mark Gerber, Avraham Ben Lloyd Vijanet. Reading from the Torah, Leah Lorenz, Leah Bat Moshe Umalka, and reading the English translation, Carly Yahiro, Havda Bacha Bat Moshe Umalka. Ya'amdu l'aliyah harishona.
Mark the first word right there and give it a kiss. Right, that's easy. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. We're going to close that so that we don't think the blessing is in there. You can stay right there. Perfect. Come on forward, you guys. There you go.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'haya ki tavo el haaretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nachala v'yarishta v'yishbach ba lakachta mereshit kol peri ha'adama asher tavi me'artzecha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach v'samta v'teneh v'halachta el hamakom asher yivchar Adonai Elohecha l'shaken shemo sam uvata el hakohen asher yeh bayamim hahem v'imarta elav higadati hayom ladonai Elohecha ki vati el haaretz asher nishva Adonai lavotenu latet lanu v'lakach hakohen hateneh me'adecha v'hinicho lifnei mizbach Adonai Elohecha.
This is what you should do when you enter the land that Adonai your God is giving you as a heritage, when you occupy it and settle it. You shall take a portion of every first harvest of the soil from the land that Adonai your God is giving you. Then you should put it in a basket and go to the place where Adonai your God chooses to establish his name. You shall go to the priest in charge at the time and say to him, I acknowledge this day before Adonai your God that I have entered the land which Adonai promised to our ancestors to give us. Then the priest shall take the basket from your hand and place it before the altar of Adonai your God.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei lam olam b'chokenu Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
For our second aliyah, chanting the blessing, Ethan Solinger, Eitan Benyamin Ben Chaim V'Shoshana Leah, and Bob Plaskin, Moshe Ben Jack Vehelen. Reading from the Torah, Rachel Solinger, Shoshana Leah Bat Moshe Umalka, and reading the English translation, Randy Solinger, Chaim Ben Aharon Leib V'Chana Leah, and Marsha Plaskin, Malka Bat Esther Ve'erni. Ya'amdu l'aliyah hashenit.
Baruch atah
Baruch Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'anita ve'amarta lifnei Adonai Elohecha arami oved avi vayared mitzrayema vayagar sham bimeti me'at vayahi sham legoy gadol atzum v'rav v'yereu otanu hamitzrayim ve'anenu vayitenu alenu avodah kasha v'nitzaek el Adonai Elohei avotenu vayishma Adonai et kolenu vayira et anenu ve'et amalenu ve'et lachatzenu.
You shall then recite the following before Adonai and your God. My father was a wandering Aramean. He went down to Egypt with meager numbers and sojourned there. And there he became a great and populous nation.
The Egyptians dealt harshly with us and oppressed us. They made us do heavy labor. So we cried to Adonai, the God of our ancestors, and Adonai heard our plea and saw our plight, our misery, and our oppression.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koah. Nice job. Yasher Koah.
For our third aliyah, chanting the blessing, Craig Solinger, Tsur ben Aharon Leib v'chana Leah. Reading from Torah will be Bryce. Reading the English translation, Mike Alson, Michaela bat Thea, and Chuck Alson, Betzalel Yitzchak ben Shaul v'Rivka. Ya'amdu l'aliyah hashlishit.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamvarah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarah l'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher baharbanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'samachta v'chol hatov asher natan lecha Adonai Elohecha uveitecha ata v'halevi v'chager asher b'kirbecha ki techale laser, et kol masar tevuatecha, bashana hashishit shinat hamaaser, v'natata la levi, la ger layatom vila amena, v'achlu fisharecha v'saveu, v'amarta lifnei Adonai Elohecha biarti hakodesh min habayit v'gam nitati v'la levi v'la ger layatom v'la amena kechol mitzvotecha asher tzivitani lo avarti mitzvotecha v'lo shachachti.
You shall rejoice because of all the bounty that Adonai has bestowed upon you and your household, you, the Levite, and the stranger in your midst. And when you have set aside in full 1/10 of your harvest in the 3rd year, the year of the tithe, give it to the Levite, the stranger, the orphan, and the widow, that they may eat their fill in your settlements.
Then you shall declare before Adonai your God, I have cleared out the consecrated portion from this house, and I have given it to the Levi, the stranger, the orphan, and the widow, just as you commanded me. I have neither transgressed nor neglected any of your commandments.
Bryce, actually, will you take your seat? Come on up here. And just touch to the final word right over here. Touch right there and then give it a kiss. Right, kiss your seat. There you go. That marks it right there. And then bless it afterward.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata betokenu Baruch atah Adonai notin ha-Torah.
Amen. Yes, Randy and Rachel, if the two of you will come on up and join us, please, because at that moment, yes, Bryce read from Torah, but he was acting as an agent because, we're all commanded to read from Torah, and so sometimes, though, we're not always able to, and so we appoint somebody to be our agent to read for us, but we fulfill the mitzvah through reciting the blessing and so forth. But now is the time that Bryce gets to fulfill officially this mitzvah, this commandment of reading Torah.
Ya'amod habachur habar mitzvah ben Yamin Ari ben Chaim v'Shoshana Leah le'aliyah haTorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Adonai v'ra le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'na'ata lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha-Torah.
Amen.
Vatavo'u el hamakom hazeh v'yetzei sichon melech Heshbon v'og melech Habashan likratenu lam yalchama v'anakem v'anikach artzam v'anitena l'nachala la'ruveni v'lagadi v'lachatzi shevet hamnashi ushmartem et divrei Habarit hazot va'asitem otam leman tizkilu et kol asher ta'asun. When you reached this place, King Sihon of Heshbon and King Og of Bashan came out to engage us in battle, but we defeated them. We took the land and gave it to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh as their heritage. Therefore, observe faithfully all the terms of this covenant, that you may succeed in all that you undertake. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher nata lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach, mazel tov. Mom and Zach get a nice big hug from him. Absolutely. Or a pat on the shoulder or the elbow. There you go. Mazel tov. Mwah. Mazel tov. Mwah. You're welcome. So, Bryce, just stay right here. Actually, if you will hold on to that, your prayer book, for a moment, as we take a moment now for Mishaberach, a prayer of healing for those who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. I invite you to think about any friends or family, community members, people who you know, or people who you've seen who are in need of healing, as we take this moment to offer a blessing of healing. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. Hu yivarech et hacholim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimaleh rachamim alehem, lahachilimam urapotam ulahazikam, v'yishlach lehem mehera refuah. Refuah shlema min hashamayim. Refuat hanefesh urfuat haguf hashta bagala v'zman kariv v'nomar amen. May God swiftly send all of those who are in need of healing, compassion for their health to be restored and strength to be revived. Give to them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. I'd like to invite forward now our Torah holder, Richard Solinger. If you will please come forward and have a seat here in the middle chair. And then Sean, if you will come up, bring forward the Torah cover and the Torah binder as we rise now and give honor to the Torah.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael, ha'ki Adonai biyad Moshe. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
The Haftarah for Parashat Ki Tavo is Isaiah, chapter 60, verses 14 through 22. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nivim tovim v'ratzav divrehem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Halocher Batorah Uvmoshe Avdo Uvisrael Amo Uvinvieh Hamet Vad Zedek. V'halechu elaich shechoach b'nei manaich v'hishtachavu al kapot raglaich kol menatzaich V'kar'u lach ir Adonai Tzion Kidosh Yisrael Tachat Heyoteich Azuva Usnua Ve'en Over V'samtich Ligoon Olam Misos Dor Vador. Bowing before you shall come the children of those who tormented you. Prostrate at the soles of your feet shall be all those who reviled you. And you shall be called City of Adonai, Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas you have been forsaken, rejected, with none passing through, I will make you a pride everlasting, a joy for age after age. You shall eat royally, and you shall know that I, Adonai, am your Savior. I, the mighty one of Jacob, am your Redeemer. Instead of copper, I will bring gold. Instead of iron, I will bring silver. Instead of wood, copper. And instead of stone, iron. And I will appoint well-being as your government, prosperity as your officials. The cry, violence, shall no more be heard in your land, no rack and ruin within your borders. And you shall name your walls victory, and your gates renown. No longer shall you need the sun for light by day, nor the shining of the moon for radiance by night. For Adonai shall be your light everlasting. Your God shall be your glory. Your sun shall set no more. Your moon no more withdraw. For Adonai shall be a light to you forever, and your days of mourning shall be ended. And your people, all of them righteous, shall possess the land for all time. They are the shoot that I planted, my handiwork in which I glory. The smallest shall become a clan, the least a mighty nation. I, Adonai, will speed it in due time. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech ha'olam, sur kol ha'amim, sadik b'chol ha'arot, ha'el ha'neme'an, ha'omer ve'osei, ha'medaber u'makayim, shechol devorav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah, v'al ha'avodah, v'anavim v'yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shnatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Likdusha ve'lim nucha l'chavodu tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu enachnu modim lach arvachim otach yiparashim ha b'fi chol chai tamnei le'olam va'ed baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. So, Bryce, beautiful. You have concluded that reading of Haftarah. How do you feel? Good. Yasher Koach. Beautifully done. So now at this time, we are going to return our Torah to the Ark as we turn now to page 374. And I invite everyone to please rise.
הודו על הארץ ושמיים וירם קרן לעמו תהילה לכל חסידיו לבני ישראל עם קרובו הללויה טוב נתתי לכם תורתי אל תעזובו עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו כקדם.
Imagine this. You are in a deep sleep and comfortable in your bed, and a loud, irritating sound jolts you awake. It's a combination of your alarm and your parents' voice is getting louder and louder. However, you choose to ignore the sounds, keep snoozing, and fall asleep. You wake up suddenly, have 5 minutes to get ready for school, rush out the door, and leave your lunch and some of your homework due that day behind. It may be you're extra tired at baseball practice later that afternoon and don't play as well as you usually do. Could it be that you stayed up too late the night before? This would be the consequence due to my actions of not going to bed on time. In this week's Torah portion, Parashat Ki Tavo, Moses instructs the Israelites on what their future responsibilities will be when they enter the land of Israel. Moses reminds the Israelites the curses and the blessings that they will face if they do not follow God's commandments. Half of the Israelites climbed to the top of one mountain, Mount Ebal, while the other half climbed to another mountain, Mount Gerizim. The Israelites on Mount Ebal called to the other group, warning them of the curses that will happen if they disobey God. Curses such as destruction, agony, want, and exile. Moses reminds the Israelites that if they obey God's commandments faithfully, they will enjoy the abundant blessings such as fame, glory, and fortune. This is why Moses warned the Israelites of the importance of following the commandments to reap the blessings as promised to the people for following the laws of the Torah. Just as Moses instructed the Israelites to follow the commandments, as children, our parents encourage us to follow the rules of our home. If we are helpful and do as we are asked, good things will come our way. If we push the boundaries and are disobedient, the outcome will be negative. Also in this Torah portion, Moses focuses on a future where the Israelites have conquered the land of Israel and are enjoying its harvest. He emphasizes the importance of taking the fresh fruit of the soil and putting it into a basket and bringing it to a Kohen, one of Aaron's sons who offered the sacrifices on behalf of the people to God. Many of you are probably asking, why is this important? According to Moses' Maimonides, offering the fresh fruits of the harvest is a way for the Israelites to be accustomed to being generous and a means of limiting the human appetite for more consumption, not only of food but of property. He emphasizes the challenges of human materialism and overindulgence. He states that people who amass fortune and live in comfort often fall victim to self-centered excesses and arrogance. The importance of bringing the harvest basket of fruit and reciting the ritual prayer is to promote humility rather than greed and self-indulgent behaviors. Moses Maimonides wants us as humans to feel the human experience of success and failure, happiness and sadness as a means of overcoming our hopes and dreams and not giving up. Most people give up when faced with these complex and frustrating experiences. In order to succeed in times of freedom and oppression, we must be strong when we face problems of pain, setbacks, and develop strong determination to feel we are truly blessed. From Parashat Ki Tavo, I think as a society we can learn to be more respectful of others and learn to curb negative behaviors, thoughts, and learn to recognize the blessings in our lives. As a bar mitzvah today, I feel it is important to recognize the positive influences that my parents have passed on to me, such as to be more helpful, loving, and strive for what I want to achieve in life. By controlling our behaviors, receiving positive reinforcement, and learning the right way to react to situations, this will help all of us become positive members of society. My mitzvah project that I have chosen is pitching for baseball. This project ties in this Torah portion today because it's about giving back to others in need. As stated in this Torah portion, we must be respectful of others that do not have a lot of money and accessibility to things we have and oftentimes take for granted. Since I have a passion for playing the game of baseball, I decided that I wanted to help other kids around the world who do not have access to adequate baseball equipment the opportunity to receive the items they need to play the game. With the help of coaches in my league, family and friends, and some really helpful managers at several sporting goods stores, I was able to raise almost $1,000 worth of sports equipment for kids in need. I enjoyed the challenge of getting the equipment, and I'm glad I was able to help kids less fortunate than myself. For me, becoming a bar mitzvah was a very informative process. During my time leading up to my becoming a bar mitzvah, I learned how to read Hebrew, understand prayers, and learn about Jewish customs and traditions. I had many home touring sessions to prepare for this day, and spent time with Rabbi Heidi and Cantor Reinwald learning about my Torah portion and the many prayers I recited today. I have made some good friends here at the temple, and as I realize I enter this time of Jewish responsibility today, that I would like to keep my Jewish heritage and traditions so that I can pass what I learn on to future generations within my family. Becoming a bar mitzvah today was not always easy. I did not only concentrate on learning my Hebrew Torah portion, write my speech, but I also had to keep up my grades at school and still find time to be on the baseball field for practices and weekend games and tournaments. At times I wanted to give up, but my parents remind me that it's too easy to just give up, rather than push myself to accomplish my goals. So being the good Jewish boy I am, well sometimes, I followed my parents' advice to this day. There are many people I'd like to thank today for helping me prepare for my becoming a bar mitzvah. First of all, I'd like to thank Hannah Reinwald for meeting with me and helping me learn the prayers and not critique me on my beautiful Rhapsody singing voice. I'd also like to thank Rabbi Heidi for her hard work to get me prepared today and putting up with me and my silliness. Thank you to all my Hebrew school teachers, but especially to Mr. Bendroff for working hard with me on the prayers and having to dodge woofle balls and other flying items while in my presence. Thank you, Jared, for keeping our Tuesday night learning experiences very memorable. Thank you to Marcy, Bama, Auntie Dana, and Dominique, the whole Stacy Himmel crew, for the beautiful save the date cards, invitations, all the other amazing touches to this day. Thank you to my Nana and Papa for all their help, rides to the temple and home, support, and for helping me make this a wonderful experience for me. Thank you to Ethan and Chloe, my partners in crime at home. Even though we all torture one another, I still love you guys. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all the encouragement, help, and for the Amazon gift card bribes you offered me to keep studying and preparing for my bar mitzvah today. I'd also like to thank all the temple congregants and temple friends, family and friends, who came here today to celebrate my becoming a bar mitzvah. It means a lot to me to have you here on my special day. Through my studies of this Torah portion, Ki Tavo, I learned that we are responsible for the outcome of our actions and truly set our own destinies. We have the power to make each day a positive and fulfilling one. If we go back to the scenario I shared at the beginning of my speech, had I woken up on time, not aggravated my parents, and gone to bed much earlier the night before, things would have probably gone smoother that day. We need to remember to honor and respect those guiding us and have faith that they will help steer us in the right direction. I know I'm certainly going to try.
I hope I have at least 10 minutes up here. Bryce, you did a great job today. Mom and I are very proud of you. And I just want to start off thanking everybody for coming and celebrating Bryce's bar mitzvah today. I'd also like to thank a few people here today who helped Bryce prepare for his special day. I'd like to thank Rabbi Heidi and Cantor Reinwald for taking the time and preparing Bryce for this special day. I'm sure Bryce kept both of you entertained during this process. I'd also like to thank my wife Rachel for planning this event, which I think has been in planning stage since Bryce was born. And I'm probably on Monday going to be planning Chloe, so we'll be ready for that. I would also like to thank both my parents and my in-laws in helping us today organize this event and make it a great day. I am also very grateful to have this Saturday off from Bryce having any baseball games. I'm in an air-conditioned sanctuary, and I don't have an umbrella and a chair. So I'm very thankful for that, too. Bryce, your mother and I are very excited that you have made it to your bar mitzvah day. Today is not only a day to celebrate your birthday, but it is also the age in which you assume responsibility in the Jewish community. In the Jewish tradition, bar mitzvah is a day a boy becomes a man and takes responsibility for his own actions. So starting tomorrow, your mother and I are going to give you a brand new chore chart and a rental agreement to live in our house. And it's also a day where your hard work and dedication show your accomplishments of learning the Torah and recognizing the importance of this event. Today is also a day for family, friends, and community to gather and celebrate the Jewish traditions that you will hopefully continue to pass on to future family members. Just as your grandparents have had their bar mitzvahs before you, today is a day you join them in this ritual. Everyone here today is here to celebrate with you and made the effort to join us today to celebrate with you. Bryce, I knew you would do great today, especially when I could hear you chanting your Torah and practicing your speech in the evening hours in your bedroom. I was very impressed, to say the least, that you were doing this without your cell phone or PlayStation game controller in your hand. We have had a lot of great experiences here at Temple Beth Sholom. Your journey at the temple started back when you were in your mom's Mommy and Me class, then preschool, and eventually your preparation for your bar mitzvah with Mr. Bendroff's weekly visits to our home. And let's not forget to mention Rabbi Heidi's weekly evening classes, where you learn the importance of Judaism and on occasion were entertained with discussions on Game of Thrones. We are glad you've had the opportunity to learn about the history of the Jewish people and the struggles and successes that Jewish people went through so that we could be here present at your bar mitzvah today. Bryce, I cannot believe it has been just over 13 years ago now that you interrupted my once-a-year pool party at Nana's house because you had to choose July 4th, 2004 to make your grand entrance. I still remember when Nana and I were in Costco that day, the day before, on July 3rd, 2004, and your mom called me on the phone and told me she had to go to the hospital. I told her it was probably a false alarm and no need to worry. When she told me on the phone, trust me, I need to go to the hospital, I knew the moment I heard Rachel say, trust me, that I better go running. For those of you who are here today, when Rachel says, trust me, that means we have a red alert. At that moment, I realized something that made me sad, though. I was going to have to leave my favorite spinach dip and pita chips behind and get your mom to the hospital. And I think to this day, Bryce wanted to be part of that July 4th party since he decided to wait until the first 35 minutes of July 4th to be born. Things were pretty smooth the first couple years. We made it through your bris, several diaper changings, stroller rides, and then we made one mistake. Your mother and I decided it would be great to try you in T-ball. Little did we know that you'd become obsessed with it, and as you got older, we soon realized that baseball was becoming your passion. And then your Nana had this great idea that we should build a batting cage in her backyard. I thought, what a great idea, until I realized the dirt in Nana's backyard was harder than cement. Even though it took several months to build it, we have had great times in that cage, and I really enjoy going in there and taking my life in my own hands with the L screen and your balls whizzing by me. But it's a lot. We've had a lot of fun. I also enjoy going to Angels baseball games with Bryce. I can ask Bryce any statistic on a player, and he always has the answer. As a matter of fact, Bryce is so good at statistics that he runs his own stats on himself now with his Game Changer app. I can ask him how he did in any game, and he could tell me if he played a great game, a not-so-great game, or a game where he might have been better calling in sick rather than going to that game. Bryce, I could sit up here and tell everyone all your accomplishments in your life, but I feel you are very gifted in many areas of your life, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. Through your hard work, dedication, and thoughtfulness of others around you, these qualities will allow you to achieve your goals. Bryce, you are a very caring person and a real team player. Whether you're playing baseball, basketball, flag football, you are always there for that team. You always put in a great effort, listen to what people are telling you, and try to improve and make yourself an even better person. Bryce, your mother and I are very proud of the person you are and the man you will become. You have the kind soul of your mom, the sense of humor of your dad, and got your good looks from me. But I am sure your mother will debate this with me later. Bryce, as I watch you become a man, I see a person who has a strong character. I see a person who does not necessarily get consumed with receiving recognition for good grades in school or winning awards at sporting competitions. I see a person who would rather help a friend in need, a brother that would lend a hand to his sister brother when they need help with their homework or advice, or a person that will take time in his day and recognize that his mom or dad is having a bad day and is willing to go out of his way to cheer us up. It is your character as a person that will lead you to a successful future. Mazel tov. I'm very proud of you today.
We'll switch. Let me start by saying how proud I am of you today for the hard work you have put into studying and preparing for this day, and of course for the amazing job you have done leading our synagogue in prayer, reading from the Torah, and sharing your speech. I also want to thank everyone for being here today to share this special day with us. It means a lot to have you here. Also, a big thank you to everyone who helped make us this day truly wonderful. Bryce, you came into this world on a day that fits your personality to a T, the 4th of July. You truly arrived with a bang. I remember you being bright red a lot of the time. You were the fussiest of my 3 babies, often crying or screaming. You had a mind of your own from day one and would stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to get what you want. However, along with that determination, you also sparkle like the most beautiful firework and have a personality that truly shines. As I did with Ethan a few years back, I'm going to share just a few things that I truly love best about you. I love how you can make me laugh like no one in this world can, except your dad is maybe a close second. You know how to find the humor in any situation. You can also do the best imitations of different accents, and I know many people who enjoy your comedic acts as much as I do. I love how hard you try in everything you do, whether it's school or sports. You are so organized, and you take your commitments very seriously. I love your passion for life and passion for things that you love. If you aren't playing baseball, you're watching it, or you're listening to something having to do with baseball on your phone. I love what a caring person you are and what a good friend you are to others. You are the person who watches out for his or her friends. You are not afraid to stand up to others on behalf of someone else. You are the kid everyone wants on his or her side. I love how you watch out for me, making sure I have everything I need with me at all times, making sure I didn't leave my purse in the car, or that I locked the car door. I can always count on you to help me around the house. You are going to make an amazing husband someday. Not for a long time. You also watch out for your siblings. Even though you may deny this one, I see how you help them and care for them. It doesn't go unnoticed. I love what a leader you are. You ran for class president in second grade, and you were so determined to win, and you did. You have your own little YouTube show, and I love walking by your room and hearing you broadcast to your viewers. Although I'm not really sure what you're talking about, something sports related, but you are so confident, and you sure sound like you know what you're talking about. I love how endearing you are, and you give people you know you are close to little nicknames. You truly know how to make others feel special. I could go on, but overall, I love that I see you becoming a kind, charming, intelligent, passionate, and funny young man. Bryce, as you become a young man in the Jewish community, I wish for you a life of love, laughter, success, health, and happiness. Always stay true to yourself and the unique and awesome person that you are. You will go far in this world, sharing your gifts with those who come in contact with you. I'm so proud to be your mom and love you very much.
So, Bryce, you become bar mitzvah, not just with your family and your friends, but also within your community. And so, therefore, we have some presentations for you on behalf of our board of directors, Matthew Griffin, on behalf of our sisterhood, Ann Beth Shanfield, our brotherhood, Mark Borove, and representing your friends and our youth groups here at Temple Beth Sholom, Jared Weisberg, Zach Shanfield, and Rachel Pollock. So I am going to invite you all to come on forward so that they can make their presentation to you. All right, so we're going to have our youth first. Come on, Zach, you come right over here. There we go. Along with Rachel and Jared. Perfect. All right, go ahead.
Bryce, you have been my friend since Mommy and Me class. Boy, have we grown old. My lifetime friend, I'd like to present you with this bag of Cracker Jacks. Not exactly Cracker Jacks, but you get the idea. I know you like to go out to the ball games, so this should serve you well, instead of the $10 Cracker Jacks at the ball game. You've done a great job.
Jared and Rachel. Jared, go ahead. His partner in crime.
Congratulations on doing such a great job. I'm really happy for you. We have known each other for almost our entire lives and have been friends since preschool here at the temple. We are clearly the most well-behaved kids who never get into any trouble. I'm reminded of a famous quote that states, "You find out who your real friends are when you are involved in a scandal." I look forward to being friends for the rest of our lives. Friendship is like wetting your pants. Everyone can see it, but only you feel the true warmth. Congratulations. Bryce, you hit a home run.
Excuse me, I'm sitting back. I can't follow that.
Yeah. All right, Rachel, please. For dignity now.
It's hard to follow.
I know.
First off, Mazel Tov, Bryce. I have known you for about 10 years now, and I didn't even know your middle name was Eric. I was really shocked I didn't know that, so I started thinking about other things I don't know about you. I don't know your favorite color, your favorite TV show, favorite movie, favorite song, or even other hobbies you have besides baseball. I was so surprised that I didn't know these tiny things about you, but then I started thinking about the stuff I do know about you. I know you love baseball, you're funny and charismatic, you can make any dumb mistake you do a joke. You have the best dance moves I have ever seen. Seriously, if you have not seen him dance, you have not lived. And you are such a ladies' man. I have been to the same school as you for 2 weeks now, and every time I see you, you are being hugged by a girl.
What's the secret?
So I may not know tiny things about you, but every time I interact with you, I always learn something new. Like you're a great responder to prank calls, you love watching baseball, and yes, your middle name is Eric. You're a great person, and it doesn't take 10 years of knowing you to realize that. So Mazel Tov, Bryce, and I can't wait to see your prize dance moves. And beyond, and this is from the youth group.
What is it?
It's a Havdalah candle.
There you go. Nice job, guys. Yasher kola. All right, I'll let our teens go on back down there. Who wants to go first? Okay, there you go.
Bryce, you did it. You made it through this day, and I know that you were kind of about it at times, and it was tough, but you did it. I met you, and Zach met you, about 12 years ago in your Mom and Nana's Mommy and Me class. You know what Dancing with the Stars is, right? Mm-hmm. What I remember most about you is dancing in diapers. I have watched you grow up and watched you be friends with Zach. You are an awesome pitcher, and when you're done being an all-star, I always said you would be the next Jay Leno, but maybe now we have to say Jimmy Fallon. Anyway, you are some comedian. So it's an honor for me on behalf of Sisterhood to present you with a Kiddush cup. I know you know the prayer, and as you bless the wine at your Shabbats, your festivals and holidays, and at your life cycle events, may you remember this day, and may you be blessed as the fine young man you are becoming. Mazel tov.
This is really a hard act to follow. So when me and Barbara Mitzvah, I try to relate to my kids, but this is the first time I couldn't relate to my kids. I could relate to myself. Baseball fanatic growing up. Loved baseball. Always listened to baseball. Found out that that's his goal. He plays. He's great, according to his parents. I'll take a word on that one. So heard you went to Cooperstown. Played there. Someday I hope to see your name on there. I heard that Mike Trout, I would thought Bryce Harper would have been your favorite, but maybe you'll be the next Bryce that will show up in the professional leagues. Did an outstanding job. From Brotherhood, what we have for you is a tzedakah box. Like, for people who don't know what this is the Jewish piggy bank, where the money's supposed to go to charity. Well, I think you have one that you might want when you collect money to go to for your baseball fund. I'm proud of you as a Brotherhood representative, and I love that you enjoyed what you did today. I never had so much fun. Your expressions, Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, you can do it anywhere you want. But what I watched more than anything else, I was watching you sitting in that chair, and everything I kept thinking, Game of Thrones, Joffrey. I go, well, you were holding that, so I guess you're a Game of Thrones lover, huh?
You don't let them watch it? Okay, well, in that mode.
Jared is
Yeah.
according to his friends.
Okay. Well, Mazel tov, and congratulations. Job well done. And let me know when you're playing baseball. I can go watch.
All right. You know, Bryce, ever since we were in the Mommy and Me class, I remember. No, anyways.
Diaper sharing too?
Well, I can do a mean dance in a diaper. Bryce, I looked up what your name means. And according to several sources on the internet, it means swift, quick-moving, or alert, much like your speech. Super fast. People with this name have a deeper inner desire for travel and adventure and want to set their own pace in life. I can't think, this is probably incredibly accurate, isn't it? So very, very good. As a bar mitzvah, you now take the responsibility of being a member of the greater Jewish community. So as you set out for travel and adventure, remember your home here at TBS. Be a lifelong learner and use your experiences to craft yourself as a leader of our community, and never forget this moment, where over 1,000 years of tradition come together so that you may also be a part of it. Today, a slightly older, dashing, James Bond sort of man tells you this: tomorrow, go and live it. Mazel tov. And from the board of directors, we have for you your prayer book that you're using. We also have, I have a list. We have provided a tree in your honor in Israel. Those of you who are bar mitzvah, what day does he water it? Thursday. Everybody waters on Thursday. And we have also provided a scholarship for you to help with a trip to Israel so that you may play at the Maccabi Olympics in Israel. So, Jared, right? Going to get him on the team? Maccabi Olympics 2018 here in Orange County. We expect you to represent well. All right? Jacob Griffin's got the basketball. Hopefully Matthew Contour will be on stage with the Arts Fest. Be out there pitching. Let's make it happen. All right, congratulations. Excellent.
So just a point of clarification really quick. This whole Game of Thrones thing, I've never actually seen it. I know. But, it's, and I don't know that, have you really seen it yet? That's okay. Jared, though, has tried to educate us about it. We're working on it. We're learning. Someday we'll catch up. But not yet, because, yeah, not yet. You might be a young man, but yeah, not yet. I don't know if I could handle it yet. Anyway, so, Bryce, we are so very, very proud of you. Here, I'm going to have you put your arm around that way. There you go, so you don't lose that. Yes. All right, do the hokey pokey. Okay. I have to tell you, this is why I love this class. This is an amazing class of students, and I'm looking forward to my next class of students, who many of them are sitting here today as well. You guys inspire all of us, and you make life fun and exciting and different and new, and I am so grateful for that. Cantor and I are just so grateful for all of the blessings that you are. So with that, with those blessings, we want to invite you to join us at the Ark along with your parents, Rachel and Randy. If you will come and join us, please. And we'd like to invite everyone to please rise. You made it. You are here. Okay, we could do the whole baseball analogy. You hit it out of the park. It was a home run. You ran those bases. You got them all. You slid into home, and it was awesome, and the crowd went, wow. Okay, good. We got that out of the way. Bryce, this journey of 13-plus years to this moment has been incredible. It has been so wonderful to watch you grow and to watch you become who you are. Your brother Ethan, your sister Chloe, and you each have your own unique blessings and identity. Each of you are so beautifully unique, and I love that about you. Just like your parents. Your parents bring so many wonderful gifts to our world, to our community, to our family, to friends. This week's parasha, which we share together of Kitavo Club, reminds us to bring the first fruits of our fields, of our labor, bring them in a basket to the Kohen, and to say, remember that my father was a wandering Aramean, and to remember my history of where I came from. We were once wanderers in a desert and going from place to place until we could find our home and be rooted in one place. But even that one place, eventually we would move some more. Your roots, Bryce, go very deep and in so many different directions. And there are so many fruits of labor that you bring, but I want you to remember whatever it is that you accomplish, and I know that you are going to accomplish great things in so many different areas. Remember who you are. Remember where you come from. Remember what you stand for, what you believe in. It is not just about your accomplishments that you do alone. It is about how you can change the world for the better. So remember, what you do is sacred work. How you live your life should be a life that is holy, a life in which you continue to show respect and kindness and honor to those around you, a life in which you always challenge, ask questions, ask why. Don't just take something on the surface and say and accept it for what it is. Look deeper. Just as we look deeper into who you are. That's what's in your basket. That's what you present to the world. Those blessings. So hold on to that. May you be who you are and always be blessed in all that you are, as we get to offer you these blessings of our people that have been passed on from generation to generation.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you. And may God be truly gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Bryce, may you always feel God's presence around you. They're guiding you and supporting you and giving you strength in all that you are yet to do. And may God grant you a life that is filled with good health and with happiness, but most important of all, a life that is filled with shalom, with peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May it be God's will. Amen. We remain standing now as we turn in our prayer books for Aleinu L'Shabeach, our closing prayers, page 586.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, L'Tekenu L'Yotzeh Bereshit, Shelo Asanu Kigoyei Haratzot, Velo Samanu K'mishachot Adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, V'gloranenu K'chol Hamonam, V'anachnu Korim, U'mishtachavim U'modim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 591.
V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech ha'kol ha'aretz bayom ha'hu
We remain standing as our thoughts now turn to those who are no longer with us, yet their memories are truly a blessing in our lives today and always. On this Shabbat, we remember those who have recently departed: Michael Tesler, Sid Jacobs, Marion Kanselbaum, Sandra Skurnick, and David Weisenberg. We also remember those whose yard sites we recall on this Shabbat and during this coming week: William H. Altman, Robert Abodaka, Francis Brown, Alfred Kotler, Stanley Dorn, John Feinbarg, Maurice Joseph Field, Morris Figatner, Hank Fliegler, Saul Fruchtendler, Yuri Gordon, Sarah P. Horwitz, Avram Nick Jacobs, Esther Joseph, Lolly Keys, Minnie Kleiner, Charlotte Kripke, Matilda Mickey Ludwig, Sharon Mackey, Roy Belmont Maitland, Kyoko Shimada Matsuoka, Claire O'Brien, Lawrence Diornitz, Richard Pollock, Naom Reutberg, Sheldon Ross, Julia Saul, Fanny Sherman, Ralph Schulman, Milton Stanton, Robert Russell Toole, and Murray Zwick. If there is anyone here who's in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, or is observing a yahrzeit of a loved one whose name I have not called, I invite you as I face in your direction to please share their names with us. For all of them and for all those who have given their lives al Kiddush Hashem for the sanctification of God's holy name, and for all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we join together as one holy congregation and we turn to page 598 for Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yit Kadal Vit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divrach Yurtei V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon Uv'yamechon Uv'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Bagalo vizman kariv vimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'elam l'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen. In a moment, we'll conclude with our closing song, so you're welcome to close your prayer books and put them away. And then we will join together in the living room to your left for a Kiddush and Motzi in honor of Bryce becoming a bar mitzvah. There'll be little cups of grape juice that are there. We invite you to take one with. Leave a few on the table for us when we come around. But don't drink from them yet. We're going to be joining together for Kiddush and Shehechianu, and then Motzi out there. But in the meantime, put your arms around somebody next to you. Chloe, Ethan, come on up, guys. Come join us up here. Chloe, Ethan, put up. Mom and Dad, there you go. There you go. Hi.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imenu amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Amen. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mazel tov. I'll invite the photographer. You can come on forward and just stay right here, Bryce. Also, TBS students, don't forget your cards. You can hand them to Cantor or I outside there in the box. And then after, well, we'll do that after Moses and stuff. Yeah, perfect, yeah. All right. So we'll let our photographer, he'll come forward. We'll do Mazel tov.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
That speech was so funny.
Oh my God, it was hysterical. I love it. Oy.
I love him. He cracks me
I know,
up.
seriously. He does. He totally
I
cracks
mean,
me up.
and then the two of them together.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like tears.
Yeah, leave your trolley down for just a second. And then we're going to do the quick picture with our photographer. If he comes back up here, where did he go? He's probably parked in my spot again. No, I'm kidding.
What do you
Did
say?
Did he leave?